across a very sick child, whom she heard people saying they were rushing to the medicine man. She asked them to stop and bring the child to her. They noticed she was blind and helped her lay her hands on the child. And instantly, the child, who was very sick, became healed instantly. The couple thanked her so much and decided to accompany her home so they could thank her parents. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived people who cohabitated peacefully amongst themselves. In that town, women who have birthed children carried themselves with pride and joy. In that community, there lived a man named Uzube, who lived with his wife and children. He had a girl named Chendu, who had lived with them since she was a child. Chendu, though not their biological child, was treated as family too. Uzube and his wife were blessed with two lovely children, and love was shown throughout the home. Uzube and his wife are hardworking and industrious people who made sure their family are okay. Chendu was a girl who was born blind, but she knew how to go about things as she was a sharp and bright child. She ensured the house was neat and helped out with different chores. However, she was mostly assisted since it was not as easy for her as for someone who could see, but she was restricted away from kitchen work so she wouldn't hurt herself. She wasn't a lazy girl, as she always looked for ways to help out. When she reached a certain age, she wanted to explore her environment because she hardly ever went out without the help of someone. She stepped out one day, and as she walked down the road, she came across a very sick child, whom she heard people saying they were rushing to the medicine man. She asked them to stop and bring the child to her. They noticed she was blind and helped her lay her hands on the child. And instantly, the child, who was very sick, became healed instantly. The couple thanked her so much and decided to accompany her home so they could thank her parents. Uzube and Chioma, his lovely wife, were still at home scouting for Chendu when they saw her with some people behind her. They asked her if everything was alright, and they replied saying yes, that they had come to thank them. They were still a bit puzzled and asked what they were thanking them for. And when they narrated all that happened, they were so shocked and they accepted their greetings and went singing the praises of Chendu, the blind healer. Her uncle and aunt asked her why she did what she did, and she said that something in her moved her to touch the sick child, that by touching the sick child, she would get her healing. They asked her not to go out unassisted again and kept looking at her strangely. The very next day, Uzube opened his home to see a lot of people who had one illness or the other, waiting to be healed by Chendu, and they tried to persuade them to leave. They refused and insisted on seeing her, that they would not leave until she attends to them. Chendu told them to please allow her to go heal the people, that she has a calling to heal them. They asked her why she could not heal herself, and she told them that she does not know why she is the way she is, but she is sure that everything will make sense at the end. She went out of the house, and one after the other, she kept touching and healing them. It was such a miraculous thing, and everyone was amazed. Her song was sung far and wide, and she did not collect any money to do it. But everyone who was healed made sure they appreciated her by coming with foodstuffs to her home. Her uncle and aunt were super happy with her, and they were proud of her. Her story traveled beyond the village of Isemidi, and people came to receive their healing. One day, her uncle and aunt, Uzube and Chioma, asked her that if she could heal any form of diseases, why couldn't she heal herself? She responded saying she didn't know, but maybe one day it will make perfect sense. On a certain day, a man and woman came for healing, and when it was their turn, the sick woman asked her where she got the pendant she had on her neck, and she said it has been with her since the day she was born. She introduced herself to Chendu and said her name was Chizoba. She said that the pendant she had on her neck was very familiar and asked to see her uncle. When her uncle stepped out of the home after being called on, he went and saw the woman, and Chizoba said, "Are you the young man I sold my child to years ago along the bush path?" Instantly, Nzube recognized her and told Chendu that this is her mother. She stood up from where she was and asked to be taken inside, that she doesn't want to have anything to do with her. Seeing how very upset Chendu was, Nzube took her inside. Chizoba's husband asked what baby the young man was talking about. "The only baby we have died and was buried, right?" She couldn't speak and burst into tears. Chizoba kept pleading with Nzube to ask Chendu to come out so she could explain everything to her. Nzube went and pleaded with Chendu, telling her that this was the opportunity she had been waiting for to ask her parents why they did what they did. Why not give her a listening ear to at least find out what exactly happened? And if you decide to go with them, fine. If not, don't worry about it. Here is still your home. But if they leave and never return, you might never find out the truth behind all she did. After it was very late, just as Chizoba and her husband were about to leave Nzube's home, Chizoba, still crying, Nzube asked them to come inside their home, and they sat, and as Chendu asked her mother to explain herself, Chizoba started her narration and said years ago she was married to Okoro, that she did not have it very easy in life. She said that it was already 10 years of their marriage and she was yet to have a child, that her other siblings too had the same experience and some ended up giving birth to disabled children, and they labeled their family a witch that eats their own and only give birth to rejected children. She said she did not know the cause of the problem and tried so hard to have a child that it was so difficult. She said her mother-in-law was already pressuring her husband to take another wife, to have kids for him, but he did not want to. But later, she noticed it was as if he was already giving in to what the mother wants. Oh, how she cried and asked for a child. And she noticed a few days later that she was already pregnant. She said their joy knew no bound, but people were like, yes, she is pregnant, but you will see what she will deliver. She said close to her due date that her husband had to go to the neighboring village for an emergency work that wasn't meant to take so much time, but he did not come back till 2 weeks after. But shortly after he traveled, she went into labor and had her baby girl. She was so happy as she did not really notice any visible deformity till she noticed her daughter could not see, and so back to square one. She said she did not want to be an object of ridicule again, and so she went far off the village and wanted to drop her by the riverside, but she saw a man on his way and asked him if he wanted a child he could raise. He accepted because he wanted someone to stay with his wife and gave her some money and left. She said she did not want to collect the money, but someone to take care of her baby well. But she was so shocked and was still crying that she did not notice he left with her baby, and it was too late to change her mind. She said she had to dig a false grave to act like she buried their daughter, and when he returned, she told him that the baby died and she couldn't bring herself to tell him the truth. She knew he would hate her. She asked her husband and daughter to forgive her, that she never meant to do this, that she was a bit frustrated. She also said she tried looking for her even in the neighboring villages. No one could tell about them, that when she heard of the blind healer, she decided to go. Hopefully, it was her daughter, and the gods are wise. Chendu, crying already, trailed her mother's voice and touched her, and instantly they both got their healing. They both looked at each other and gave themselves a warm embrace. She was able to see her wonderful uncle and auntie, and she thanked them for being amazing people in her life. Chendu said to her mom that the key to their healing lied within them, as a curse was laid in their family, and it was both of them that was meant to break the curse by nursing her and accepting her, but rejecting her made her sick and made her not to have her healing. But it's over now, and they should look at the bright side of things, as things will get better. She hugged her dad, who in turn embraced his daughter, as he was a father now and was super excited. Nzube and Chioma were happy that Chendu knew her origin, but were not ready to give her up, as they loved her. But it took a lot of plea before they accepted she lives with her parents. They went back home and tried to catch up on a whole lot they missed out on in raising her, and they lived in peace and joy, as the union helped Chizoba as she took in and had more kids thereafter. The end. Some of the lessons to be learned from this story are: never judge a person based on their family. Do not mock anyone, as you don't know what they are going through. Learn to have a good and open heart. Never reject a gift given to you by God. Know that in all you do, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.